Morning, Year 5. We're carrying on with our our decimals work today. No arithmetic at the beginning of today's lesson, so we're going straight in for our maths, no problem. So lesson 3, reading and writing decimals again. I'm hoping that today you're going to find it a bit easier because it's consolidating what we've done already. So it's going over what we've done already. So let's jump straight in and have a look at our in focus task then. Again, this stands for 1. So we're just, again, like yesterday, thinking about what does this stand for? It's different to yesterday's. So have a good look at it. What do you think that stands for? So pause the video, have a think about it, and write it down. Don't worry about this bit for now. Okay, so I've got a question for you. Because the 10 block, this one here, has 10 squares in it, it's a tenth. Is that right? If you agree, prove it. And if you disagree, prove it. So quickly pause the video and see if you can prove me right or wrong. Okay, so let's have a look at this then. This may help some of you. So we know that this 1,000 block is worth 1. So we know that a tenth of that is worth 1/10, okay, because I need 10 of those to make this. A tenth of that again is worth 0.01, which is 100th. And then a tenth of that again is worth 0.001. That's a thousandth. I'm going to show you another screen, which will hopefully, if you haven't understood it so far, hopefully this will help you to understand it even more. So we've got this one here, okay? And that's our 1,000 block. That's worth 1. Now, what I've done is I've actually made that block again, right? Can you see that they look slightly different because there's a bit of a gap between them, but these are the same thing. And I'm just going to show you how we can peel these layers off. And it's actually made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look, okay, so look, if we put them all together, that's 100, which is worth 0.1. That's 200, which is worth 0.2. 300, which is worth 0.3. 400, 0.4. 500, 0.5. 600, 0.7. 0.6. 700, 0.7. 800, 0.8. 900, 0.9. And then it doesn't go 0.10, does it? Because that's actually 0.1. It then moves into the column next to it. So that makes it one whole. Okay, so 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, one whole. Now, if we've got one of these, actually, you can see that you can make it up. I've pinched one because I've popped it on there. You can make that up with 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you get the picture. 5, 6. Bring them to the front, look. 7. Oops, slowly. 8, 9, and then I'd need one more to make my final one 10. Okay, so these are worth a tenth of this. I need 10 of these to make up one of these. So I have to divide that. So if one of these is worth 0.1, if I divide that by 10, because there are 10 of these, it's 0.01. And then the same here, look. This green one is worth 0.01. I need 10 of these yellow ones to make up that, which means that each of those, one of those is a tenth of the green. So I have to divide it again. Just trying to show you different ways that we do it, and I'm hoping that if you haven't understood it, that it's going to start to make a bit more sense by seeing those again. So let's pop back to our screen then. Okay. So I said the 10 block is actually, because the 10 block has 10 squares, it's a tenth. We know it's not true. The 10 block is actually worth 0.01 because it's 100, not a tenth. Why is this? Because we need 100 of them to make one. All right. Okay. And then just coming back to the answer for our Maths No Problem for this top bit here, what number does this stand for? The blocks stands for 0.121. So if I added all those together, it would be 0.121. Now I'm just going to, before I read the rest of that, I'm just going to bring you down here. Look, 0.1, so I think 0.1 is this one here. Okay, 1/10, 0.1. 0.2, that's these two here. Okay, so 0.01 is this one, 0.01 is this one, add them together, you got 0.02. And then the last one is 0.001. All these zeros sending me doolally. Hope it's not sending you doolally. So the blocks added together make a total of 0.121 because the 100 block is worth 0.1. This one here. The tens block is 0.01. There are two of them. So that's 0.02, that should be. And then the final block, the ones block, is worth 0.001. Okay, right, so let's have a little look at this bit here. How many different numbers can be formed using any combination of exactly 4 of these? Now, I do want you to have a go at this, so if you haven't done so already, I want you to pause the video and have a go at that. But before you do, just have a quick look at this page here that might help you if you're not sure. Gosh, again, forgotten her name. I must learn their names. I'm sorry, kids. So we've got this girl here who makes, you can use any 4 of these, and she chooses to use the ones blocks, 4 of them. We know that one of them is worth 0.001. So 4 of them is going to make 0.004. And then this girl here has chosen to use a hundreds block, sorry, 10th block. So she's got 0.1 there, and then she's got 3 of the thousandths. So she's got 0.1 and she's got 0.003, which makes 0.103. Okay, I think we need a degree if we're keeping up with all these ones and these zeros. You're doing really super well. Okay, now what I want you to do is you're going to pause the video then and have a go at this. But what I would love you to do is think systematically. Don't just randomly. So here is 2 different combinations, but they're quite random. So I really want you to think about being systematic. So for instance, could you perhaps start with, right, I'm going to use 3 of these, or maybe I'm going to start with 4 of these, 4 of the biggest one. Then I'm going to do 3 of the biggest one and 1 of these. I'm not going to say any more. I want you now to go through and see if you can work out all the combinations that you could do, because this could take you a little while. Okay, pause now. Okay, so if you're still struggling, here is a little chart to help you out. So using 4 pieces, it's given different options here, and you see actually this is doing it in a systematic order. It's got 4 of the biggest, then it's got 3 of the biggest, and then 1 of the next size, okay? And it's working through systematically. And what we want you to do is write it in numerals, so it's given us a fraction and a decimal, and then in words as well. All right, I want you to look, you can, hopefully you've seen that pattern. All right, I'm talking you through it a bit more here. So see if you can find what's the smallest number you can make, what's the largest number you can make, and then what is the closest number to a tenth that you can make. Okay, and we'll look on Tapestry to see how you've got on with that. Right, okay, so hopefully you're starting to get that. You're starting to see that you partition those numbers and you recombine them together. Okay, make combinations, and you're hopefully starting to see what each of those is worth. So your guided practice is on page 14. Very, very similar to yesterday's. It looks very, very similar. So just have a really good think about what each of these is worth and show us all of these, the possible, or make 2 different numbers that you can here. Workbook, pages 5 and 6. Again, just like yesterday's, it looks very similar. So then some of you, I think, are going to be moving on to your extension really quickly today. So this is the first extension we'd like everybody to do. So thinking Toms, the first one says 0.61 is greater than 0.8. So do you agree? If you do, you have to explain how you know. If you don't, you have to explain how you know. So you're going to have to convince us. Don't just want to see a yes or a no. You know how to do those, guys. And then this second one, the more digits there are in a decimal number after the decimal point, the larger the decimal number is. So the larger the value of the number. All right, so 2 thinking Toms to explain there. And then maths teasers group. I wouldn't think anybody else would move on to this, but you can if you want to. You can give it a go. Have a go at this. So questions 1 and 2. All right. So the answers will be with these sheets. These are saved on your tapestry post, and the answers are saved there as well on the second page. So have a really good session, guys. I look forward to seeing your work.